Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. The Final Four just concluded. The national championship is set. It will be Wisconsin versus Duke. It should be noted that Wisconsin and Duke advanced today, 4-4, April 4th. And they were the only two teams of the four playing that had 44 connections. Wisconsin, in Gematria, sums to 44. Their star player wears the number 44. He had his birthday today. He turned 22 years old. His birthday's April 4th, 1993. Just yesterday, the 93rd day of the year, he was announced as College Basketball Player of the Year. He became the first Big Ten player to win the award. And just look at the way this article is written. I mean, this is how I caught on to the numbers thing. The best basketball player in the nation stands 84 inches tall. I mean, think about that. That's the opening sentence. When you went to school and they taught you how to write an opening sentence, it was supposed to be the hook that brings you into what you're writing about and with purpose. What does him being 84 inches tall have to do with anything, really? Well, once you learn numerology and gematria, you see that 84 is a special number. The word savior equals 84. United States of America equals 84 in Pythagorean gematria. It's a nation of lawyers. Lawyer equals 84. Number of significance. Think of George Orwell's book 1984. The name Orwell sums to 31. The name George is 39, and in this college tournament, the number 39 is of much importance. Of course, the first men's tournament was in the year 39. But anyway, Frank Kaminsky and the Wisconsin Badgers just upset Kentucky. Kentucky was favored to win the tournament. Here's his birthday right here. Just turned 22 today. Frank Kaminsky. And notice that the name Frank Kaminsky with simple English gematria sums to 153. This is the shorthand for the Vesica Piscis, a very important number in this study. Manchurian athletes with Manchurian names and birth dates are what we see a lot of in doing this research, and there's going to be more of it besides just Frank Kaminsky as we look at this championship game. Last year in the tournament, Kentucky made it to the championship and lost to Connecticut, but last year in their route to getting to the championship, Kentucky defeated Wisconsin 74-73. This number for Wisconsin is important again this year. It's been 74 years since Wisconsin won the national championship. They've won it one time in the year 41. It's 74 years later, and they're back for a chance to win it a second time. So Wisconsin also got revenge over Kentucky, who they lost to by a point last year, 74-73. The other star player on Wisconsin is Sam Decker. I've been talking a lot about him in video posts and on my written blog. The name Sam with simple English gematria is 33. The name Sam Decker with Pythagorean gematria is 33. And he's been getting a lot of attention in the tournament as well. So Sam Decker and Frank Kaminsky, two very curious athletes. They got the name gematria, the life numbers, and now they're playing in the national championship game. And here it is again from 1941. Wisconsin won that year with a score of 39-34. What do you know? They won with 39 points. The first tournament was in the year 39. Now they just disrupted Kentucky, who was trying to become the first team to go undefeated in 39 years. We'll show how that game number connected to the Duke game. The Duke game, Duke-Michigan State, started today at 3:09 p.m. Once upon a time, before I knew numerology and gematria, I used to wonder about the start times for sports games, because so often they have very curious times, and I used to wonder why. Well, now that I follow the numerology and understand it a lot better, I see how it lines up. Of course, this game starts at 3:09 with all the importance of 39 in the tournament. And the final score even has a connection to 39. Let's examine. 61-81 is a sum of 142. This is an important number in this study. If you write out the word 39 and sum it, it sums to 142. Last week, Coach K won with 66 points. If you sum 1 through 11, it adds to 66, just like K is the 11th letter. It was Duke's 33rd win, their last win. 33 sums to 66. So this week they advanced 61 to 81 to the championship game. Duke has won 4 national championships. If they win again, it will be their 5th. And I suspect Duke will defeat Wisconsin. 5 is a very important number in basketball. Coach K getting his 5th championship makes a lot of sense. And Wisconsin being the martyr for the game also makes a lot of sense. Remember, Gonzaga scored 74 points just before they lost to Duke. Now Wisconsin comes with a chance to win the championship 74 years later. So the number 74 is now on them. The star player for Duke is Quinn Cook. And here is another perfect example of a Manchurian athlete. He was born March 23rd, 1993. This gives him a life number, 32393. 3 plus 23 is 26, plus 93 more is 119. The name Quinn with simple English gematria is 75. Cook with simple English gematria is 44. 75 plus 44 is 119. Coach K is born on the 44th day of the year. Cook, 44 name with these coded 119s. And this is a number of much significance. 119 might make you think of September 11th. The World Trade Center complex was opened in history on April 4th, 1973. Today was the 42-year anniversary of the World Trade Center complex opening. Star of David sums to 119. And who runs all these sport leagues? Yes, Zionist Jews who seem to have Manchurian athletes playing for their teams, collegiate and professional. I really don't think this Quinn Cook 119 is any coincidence. Check out this story. This is from the Washington Post. Why Duke's Quinn Cook refers to the Redskins as we. I mean, you see a headline like that, it should make you go, what in the world are they talking about? And then if you read the story, it talks about how he once worked at FedEx Field as a concession boy, how that led him to his Final Four today. It says right here. But Cook's mom, Janet, doesn't think of her son's Redskins concession years as a charming tale of NFL fandom. She thinks of it as part of Cook's journey toward the Final Four. And what's interesting about FedEx, yes, it has the gematria of 44 as well. The Final Four that he was in was on April 4th. With regards to we being hyphenated up here, this also has to do with his name. We, W becomes 5 in Pythagorean gematria, just like E, because W is the 23rd letter. 2 plus 3 is 5. Quinn Cook with Pythagorean gematria, K exception, sums to 55, just like we in hyphens. His teammate, the other star on that team, Jahlil Okafor, sums to 55 with Pythagorean gematria as well. Quinn Cook without the K exception, it should be noted, sums to 46. The championship game will be April 6th, 4/6. And again, April 6th is the 96th day of the year. 55 is also the number of Satan, I want to point out. In Blue Devil, with English gematria, sums to 666, just like Santa Claus. And I was looking at the draft boards right now. He's favored as the 33rd best player in the country right now by a lot of people's rankings. That's interesting. Quinn Cook. Just from the Duke-Michigan State game, there was a lot of curious. I could have put up a bunch of photos here at times in the game where the score was curious, but this one just really stood out. When the game was 33-23 with a minute 53 on the clock. Like we said before, the name Frank Kaminsky equals 153. It has to do with the Vesica Piscis, which is directly connected to 33. Of course, 23 is an important number, especially in basketball. So, there's just so much of this stuff throughout the game. I really do think these big games are scripted from start to finish, and there's benchmarks throughout the game where the sum of each person's team score is supposed to be what it is. I truly think this is what's going on at this point from doing this research. There's just way too much of this to deny it. And also before the game, I noticed the way this was headed. Can Sparty continue magical March run? Sparty is a 27 word. They came into the game with 27 wins, 27 versus 33. Typically, 27 has to do with the end, and for Michigan State, this was the end. Again, Coach K is born on the 44th day of the year. Remember, the only two teams having 44 connections were Duke and Wisconsin. They both advanced today. Coach K is born on the 44th day of the year, known as Lupercalia, a 44 word. Just so much of this coding, Truth Seeker. That's how the sports fit in with the overall bigger numerological madness being waged against us. And a look at the national championships: UCLA with 11, Kentucky with 8, where they're going to stay, North Carolina with 5, Indiana with 5, Connecticut with 4, Duke with 4. I have a feeling that when it's all said and done, after April 6th game, Duke will be up here with 5. Coach K. 5 championship wins. We will see. That's my suspicion. And again, Wisconsin, they have 1 to date. Let's find theirs just to confirm. Uh-oh. My eyes don't work, Truth Seeker. Oh, there they are. Down at the bottom. Wisconsin, 1941. And look at Oregon. They haven't won since the original in 1939. Remember, they defeated Ohio. Oregon and Ohio, 74 versus 47, just like it was for this year's football game, the first playoff championship. Again, the continual coding, Truth Seeker. So that's pretty much the message. I expect Duke to win. All part of the narrative. Just like how in the Super Bowl, it seemed like the league ran through the Patriots this past year. All the games were scripted, lining up for them. Same thing today. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next.